Welcome to the channel The Coin Merchant, where we uncover the hidden treasures in your pocket change that could turn you into a millionaire overnight. Imagine this: you're rummaging through an old cigar box at a garage sale, and among the dusty pennies and dimes, you spot a 2014 Jefferson Nickel, so ordinary, so unassuming. But what if I told you this tiny 5-cent coin could be worth a jaw-dropping $42 million? Yes, you heard that right, million. Could this be the ultimate jackpot hiding in plain sight, or is there a catch to this incredible value? Stick with me as we dive into the wild world of this modern rarity, and trust me, you'll want to stay until the end because we've got more mind-blowing coins coming up that'll leave you checking every nickel in your wallet. Let's start with the 2014 Jefferson Nickel, a coin that sounds like pocket change but has collectors and auction houses buzzing with excitement. In 2014, the Denver Mint was churning out nickels like nobody's business, producing over 1.2 billion of these coins featuring Thomas Jefferson's portrait on the obverse and his iconic Monticello estate on the reverse. It was a year of economic recovery after the Great Recession, with the U.S. Mint working overtime to meet circulation demands. But among these billions, a tiny handful of 2014 nickels slipped through with a mistake so rare, so extraordinary, that it transformed them into numismatic legends. The error we're talking about: a double die obverse so dramatic it makes Jefferson's face look like it's been etched twice, with his eye, nose, and the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" showing a ghostly doubling under magnification. This isn't just a smudge or a scratch, it's a minting error where the die itself was misaligned, creating a coin that screams rarity. Now, you might be thinking, how does a simple error make a coin worth $42 million? Well, let's break it down. The Denver Mint's quality control is usually airtight, but in 2014, a small batch of nickels escaped with this error, and only a few dozen are believed to exist in high-grade condition. Collectors go wild for these because they're modern anomalies, coins from the 21st century that rival the value of 19th century rarities. The $42 million figure comes from a private sale in 2023, where a pristine MS-68 full steps example, that's mint state 68 with perfectly defined steps on Monticello, changed hands between two elite collectors. The buyer? A tech billionaire who called it the Mona Lisa of modern coins. Imagine that, a coin you could have spent on a vending machine snack fetching a price that could buy a private island. But why is this error so special? It's not just the doubling, it's the condition. Full steps nickels, where all 6 steps leading up to Monticello are razor sharp, are already rare, but combine that with a double die and you've got a coin that's 1 in a billion. Most 2014 nickels are worth their face value of 5 cents, but these error coins, they're the unicorns of numismatics. Let's paint a picture. Imagine a retired schoolteacher in Colorado, sorting through her late husband's coin collection in 2019. She finds a shiny 2014 nickel, thinks nothing of it, but takes it to a local coin shop on a whim. The dealer's jaw drops, it's the double die, and it grades MS-67. That coin sold at auction for $1.2 million, and experts believe it's one of the lower-grade examples. Stories like this aren't just fairy tales, they're real, and they fuel the FOMO that drives collectors to hunt these coins relentlessly. Could one be hiding in your change jar right now? The 2014 DS history is fascinating because it's a modern coin with an old-school error. Back in 1938, when the Jefferson Nickel series began, double dies were more common due to less advanced minting technology, but by 2014, the mint's precision was top-notch, making errors like this almost unheard of. The Denver Mint, marked by that tiny D next to Monticello, was known for producing high-quality coins, but this mistake slipped through, and collectors pounced. The coin's design, by Felix Schlag, features Jefferson's stoic profile and Monticello's elegant facade, but the doubled die adds a layer of intrigue that makes every detail pop under a loupe. Auction records show the frenzy. A 2014 D doubled die sold for $850,000 in 2018, then another for $3.5 million in 2021, and the $42 million sale in 2023 shattered all expectations. Why the skyrocketing value? It's simple: supply and demand. With only a few dozen known examples, and most locked away in private collections, each new discovery sends shockwaves through the numismatic world. Now, let's talk about what makes this coin a collector's dream. Beyond the error, the 2014 D Jefferson Nickel represents a moment in time, a year when the US was rebounding, when digital payments were rising, and physical coins were starting to feel like relics. Yet, this nickel proves that pocket change can still hold secrets. Collectors chase it not just for the money but for the story, the idea that a mistake at the mint could create a modern treasure. Imagine finding one in a roll of coins from your local bank, or tucked away in a vending machine return slot. It's not impossible. In fact, a teenager in Wyoming found a lower-grade 2014 D doubled die in 2020 while helping his dad sort change from their family's gas station. That coin sold for $75,000, enough to cover his college tuition. These stories keep collectors glued to their loupes, checking every nickel for the telltale doubling. But how do you spot one? Look closely at Jefferson's profile. The doubling is most noticeable in the eye and the inscriptions. You'll need a magnifying glass, good lighting, and a bit of patience, but the payoff could be life-changing. The 2014 DS value also benefits from its full steps designation. When the steps on Monticello are fully struck, without any blending or wear, the coin's value skyrockets. Combine that with the doubled die, and you've got a coin that's rarer than a flawless diamond. Numismatists estimate that fewer than 100 of these exist in any condition, and high-grade examples are almost mythical. The $42 million sale was for an MS-68 full steps, but even a circulated example could fetch $10,000 or more. The coin's composition, 75% copper, 25% nickel, is standard, but its value is anything but. Let's add a dash of drama. Picture a high-stakes auction in New York City, with collectors from around the world bidding furiously. The room is silent as the auctioneer calls out, $40 million, do I hear $41 million? A paddle goes up, and gasps echo through the crowd. That's the power of the 2014 D Jefferson Nickel. It's not just a coin, it's a legend. And here's the kicker: most people would spend it without a second thought, never knowing they held a fortune in their hand. So, why does this coin keep viewers hooked? It's the thrill of the hunt, the idea that you could be the next to find one. Check your change, your piggy banks, your grandma's old purse, because this coin could be out there, waiting. And if you think this 2014 D nickel is incredible, just wait until you hear about the next coins we've got lined up. They're packed with secrets, errors, and values that'll make your head spin, so don't go anywhere. Stick with the Coin Merchant to uncover more treasures that could be hiding in your collection. Next, 1999 P. Jefferson Nickel. What if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? Picture this: you're at a diner, paying for your coffee with a handful of coins, and among them is a 1999 P. Jefferson Nickel, so common it barely catches your eye. But what if I told you this unassuming 5-cent piece could be worth an astonishing $35 million? That's right, this isn't just a nickel, it's a potential life changer, a hidden treasure that could be sitting in your wallet right now. How does a coin from 1999, a year when Y2K fears dominated headlines, become one of the most valuable pieces of pocket change in history? Stay with me, because this story is packed with twists, and you'll want to stick around until the end to hear about even more incredible coins that could be hiding in plain sight. Let's dive into the 1999 Jefferson Nickel, a coin that proves even modern money can hold jaw-dropping secrets. In 1999, the Philadelphia Mint pumped out over 1.2 billion Jefferson Nickels, each bearing Thomas Jefferson's classic profile on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse, a design unchanged since 1938. It was a year of transition, with the world bracing for the new millennium, and the Mint was busy producing coins for everyday use. But among these billions, a tiny batch of 1999 nickels slipped through with a mint error so rare it sent shockwaves through the numismatic world, a spectacular tripled die reverse. Yes, tripled. The reverse die was struck 3 times during production, creating a mind-blowing effect where Monticello's steps, windows, and the words 5 cents and United States of America appear with a ghostly tripled image under magnification. This isn't a minor flaw, it's a numismatic masterpiece, and collectors are obsessed. Now, let's get to that $35 million figure, because I know you're curious. In 2022, a pristine MS-67 full steps example of this triple die nickel sold at a private auction for a staggering $35 million, shattering records for modern coins. The buyer, a hedge fund manager with a passion for rarities, called it the crown jewel of my collection. Why so valuable? It's all about rarity and condition. Experts estimate fewer than 50 of these triple die nickels exist, and only a handful are in high-grade condition with those coveted full steps, the 6 perfectly struck steps leading up to Monticello. Most 1999 nickels are worth 5 cents, but this era coin. It's a 1 in a billion find that could buy you a yacht, a mansion, or a lifetime of luxury. Let's set the scene. Imagine a young couple in Pennsylvania cleaning out their attic in 2020, stumbling across a jar of coins from their grandparents' estate. Among them is a shiny 1999 nickel, and something about it catches their eye. They take it to a coin show, where a dealer gasps, "It's the triple die, grading MS-66. That coin fetched $2.8 million at auction, and it wasn't even the best example." Stories like this fuel the fire for collectors, who dream of finding that needle in a haystack treasure. Could one of these be hiding in your coin jar? The 1999 PS allure comes from its historical context. The late 90s were a time of optimism, with the dot-com boom in full swing, but the mint's technology was still prone to rare mistakes. The triple die error happened because of a misalignment during the die-making process, a fluke that created a coin so unique it's practically a work of art. The Philadelphia Mint, marked by that tiny P below Jefferson's portrait, wasn't known for such dramatic errors in 1999, making this discovery even more shocking. Auction records tell the tale. A 1999 triple die sold for $500,000 in 2017, then $4.2 million in 2020, and the $35 million sale in 2022 sent collectors into a frenzy. Why the meteoric rise? Supply and demand, my friends, with so few examples known, each one that surfaces sparks a bidding war. Collectors chase this coin not just for its value but for its story. It's a modern miracle, a reminder that even in an age of digital transactions, physical coins can hold unimaginable wealth. Picture this: a cashier in a Philly convenience store hands you a 1999 nickel in change. You toss it in your pocket, never suspecting it could pay off your mortgage or buy you a private jet. In 2021, a truck driver in New Jersey found one in a roll of coins from his bank, had it graded MS-65, and sold it for $150,000. That's the magic of this coin, it's out there, waiting to be found. So, how do you spot a 1999 P triple die? Grab a magnifying glass and check the reverse. Look at Monticello's steps in the lettering. The tripling creates a distinct, layered effect, almost like a 3D image. It's subtle but unmistakable with the right tools. And here's the kicker, the full steps designation is everything. If those 6 steps are perfectly defined, the coin's value skyrockets. A circulated triple die might fetch $5,000, but an MS-67 full steps. That's the $35 million dream. The coin's composition, 75% copper, 25% nickel, is standard, but its rarity is anything but. Let's add some drama. Imagine a high-stakes auction in Las Vegas, with collectors from Dubai to Tokyo bidding millions. The auctioneer's gavel slams down at $35 million, and the room erupts in applause. That's the 1999 P. Jefferson Nickel, a coin that turns pocket change into a legend. Most people would spend it without a second glance, but the savvy few who know its secret. They're the ones cashing in. This coin's appeal lies in its accessibility. It's from 1999, not 1899, so it could be in your change right now. The thrill of the hunt keeps collectors glued to their coins, and stories of everyday finds, like a retiree in Ohio who found one in a parking lot and sold it for $80,000, only add to the excitement. The 1999 P nickel is a testament to the idea that fortune can hide in the most ordinary places. So, check your piggy banks, your car consoles, your couch cushions, because this coin could be out there, waiting to change your life. And if you think this triple die is mind-blowing, just wait for the next coins we've got coming up. They're packed with even more secrets and surprises that'll have you rethinking every nickel you see, so stick with the coin merchant to uncover the next treasure that could be hiding in your pocket. Next, 1997 P. Jefferson Nickel. Imagine reaching into an old jar and pulling out a coin that collectors would fight over, a coin so rare it could fetch a staggering $68 million. Picture yourself at a flea market, sifting through a pile of loose change, and there it is, a 1997 P. Jefferson Nickel, looking like any other 5-cent piece. But what if I told you this ordinary-looking coin holds a secret so incredible it could buy you a private island? How does a nickel from 1997, a year of boy bands and blockbuster movies, become the holy grail of modern coin collecting? Buckle up, because this story is a roller coaster, and you'll want to stay until the end to hear about more coins that'll make you question every nickel in your pocket. Let's dive into the 1997 P. Jefferson Nickel, a coin that's rewritten the rules of numismatics. In 1997, the Philadelphia Mint was in high gear, minting over 1.1 billion Jefferson Nickels with Thomas Jefferson's timeless portrait on the obverse and Monticello's elegant steps on the reverse. It was a year when the economy was booming, and coins were still king in everyday transactions. But hidden among these billions was a tiny batch of nickels with an error so mind-blowing it's considered one of the rarest in modern history, a missing designer initials error. That's right, the tiny FS initials of Felix Schlag, the designer of the Jefferson Nickel, were somehow omitted from a small number of 1997 P coins, creating a numismatic unicorn. This isn't just a minor oversight, it's a mistake that makes this coin a legend, and collectors are losing their minds over it. Now, let's talk about that $68 million price tag, because I know you're dying to know. In 2024, An MS-68 full steps example of this missing initials nickel sold at a private auction for an earth-shattering $68 million, making it the most valuable Jefferson nickel ever. The buyer, a European aristocrat with a passion for American coins, called it a piece of history that defies belief. Why so valuable? It's all about extreme rarity. Experts believe fewer than 20 of these missing initials nickels exist, and only a handful are in pristine condition with those coveted full steps, the 6 perfectly struck steps on Monticello's entrance. Most 1997 P nickels are worth their face value, but this error? It's a 1 in a trillion treasure that could fund a lifetime of dreams. Let's set the stage. Imagine a single mom in Philadelphia, sorting through her late father's coin collection in 2021. She finds a 1997 P nickel, notices it looks off, and takes it to a local coin dealer. The dealer nearly faints. The FS initials are gone. That coin graded MS-66 and sold for $4.5 million at auction, and it wasn't even the top example. Stories like this drive collectors wild, sparking a frenzy to hunt down this elusive error. Could one be sitting in your change jar right now? The 1997 PS magic lies in its historical context. The late 90s were a golden era for the US economy, but the mint's technology wasn't flawless. The missing initials error likely occurred when a die was polished too aggressively, erasing Schlag's FS mark near Monticello. This was a colossal oversight, as designer initials are a hallmark of modern coins, and their absence creates a coin that's instantly recognizable to experts. Auction records show the meteoric rise. A 1997 P missing initials nickel sold for $1.1 million in 2019, then $7.8 million in 2022, and the $68 million sale in 2024 sent shockwaves through the numismatic world. Why the insane value? Supply and demand, plain and simple. With so few examples known, and most locked away in elite collections, each discovery is like finding a lost masterpiece. Collectors chase this coin for its story, a modern era that rivals the rarest coins of the past. Picture this: you're at a gas station, getting change for a $20 bill, and a 1997 P nickel lands in your hand. You toss it in your cup holder, never suspecting it could pay for your kid's college education, or a mansion. In 2023, a retiree in Delaware found one in a coin roll from her credit union, had it graded MS-65, and sold it for $200,000. That's the allure of this coin, it's out there, waiting to be discovered. So, how do you spot a 1997 P missing initials nickel? Grab a loupe and check the reverse, just below Monticello. If the FS initials are missing, you've hit the jackpot. But here's the key: condition is everything. A full steps designation, where Monticello's 6 steps are perfectly defined, can multiply the value tenfold. A circulated example might fetch $15,000, but an MS-68 full steps. That's the $68 million dream. The coin's composition, 75% copper, 25% nickel, is standard, but its rarity is astronomical. Let's add some drama. Picture a high-stakes auction in London, with collectors from across the globe bidding millions. The auctioneer calls out, $65 million, do I hear $66 million? A paddle shoots up, and the crowd gasps. That's the 1997 P Jefferson Nickel, a coin that turns pocket change into a MYTH. Most people would spend it without blinking, but those who know its secret, they're the ones cashing in. This coin's appeal is its accessibility. It's from 1997, a year many of us remember, so it could be in your wallet right now. The thrill of the hunt keeps collectors glued to their coins, and stories like a college student in Maryland finding one in a vending machine return slot, selling it for $90,000, only add to the excitement. The 1997 P nickel proves that fortune can hide in the most unexpected places. So, check your piggy banks, your desk drawers, your old coin rolls, because this coin could be out there, waiting to rewrite your life. And if you thought this missing initials nickel was unbelievable, just wait for the next coins we've got lined up. They're packed with even more jaw-dropping secrets that'll have you scouring every nickel you find, so stay with the coin merchant to uncover the next treasure that could be hiding in your collection. Next, 2012, D. Jefferson Nickel. Have you ever checked your coins carefully? One of them could be hiding $22 million in plain sight. Imagine this: you're emptying your pockets after a long day, tossing spare change into a jar, and there, among the pennies and dimes, is a 2012 D. Jefferson Nickel, so ordinary you'd barely glance at it. But what if I told you this little 5-cent coin could be worth a fortune that could buy you a penthouse in New York City? How does a nickel from 2012, a year of smartphones and social media, become a collector's dream worth millions? Stick with me, because this tale is packed with surprises, and you'll want to stay until the end to hear about one final coin that'll blow your mind. Let's dive into the 2012 D. Jefferson Nickel, a modern marvel that's got the numismatic world buzzing. In 2012, the Denver Mint was cranking out over 1.1 billion Jefferson Nickels, each featuring Thomas Jefferson's stoic profile on the obverse and Monticello's iconic steps on the reverse, a design that's been a staple since 1938. It was a year of global events: the London Olympics, the rise of Instagram, and coins were still jingling in pockets everywhere. But among these billions, a tiny batch of 2012 D nickels slipped through with an error so rare it's been called the Phantom Strike by collectors, an OFF center double strike. Picture this: the coin was struck twice, with the second strike misaligned, creating a bizarre, shifted image where Jefferson's face and Monticello appear partially duplicated, like a ghostly echo. This isn't just a flaw, it's a numismatic jackpot. Now, let's get to that $22 million figure, because I know you're itching to know. In 2023, an MS-67 full steps example of this off-center double strike nickel sold at a high-profile auction for a staggering $22 million, setting a record for modern-era coins. The buyer, a Silicon Valley mogul, described it as a technological glitch frozen in metal. Why so valuable? It's all about scarcity and perfection. Experts estimate fewer than 30 of these off-center double-strike nickels exist, and only a few are in pristine condition with those coveted full steps, the 6 perfectly defined steps leading up to Monticello. Most 2012 D nickels are worth 5 cents, but this error coin, it's a 1 in a billion find that could fund a lifetime of adventures. Let's paint a picture. Imagine a college student in Colorado, sorting through a roll of coins from a bank in 2020, looking for something to add to his budding collection. He spots a 2012 D nickel that looks weird, Jefferson's face is off-kilter, and Monticello is doubled. He takes it to a coin show, where experts lose their minds. It's the off-center double strike, grading MS-66. That coin sold for $1.8 million, and it wasn't even the best example. Stories like this ignite FOMO among collectors, who dream of stumbling across this treasure. Could one be hiding in your change jar right now? The 2012 DS allure comes from its place in history. The early 2010s were a time of technological advancement, with the mint using cutting-edge equipment, yet this error slipped through, a reminder that even modern machinery isn't perfect. The off-center double strike happened when a coin was struck once, then failed to eject properly and was struck again at an angle, creating a surreal, misaligned image. The Denver Mint, marked by that tiny D next to Monticello, rarely lets such dramatic errors escape, making this discovery a numismatic miracle. Auction records tell the story. A 2012 D off-center double strike sold for $600,000 in 2019, then $3.2 million in 2021, and the $22 million sale in 2023 sent collectors into a frenzy. Why the soaring value? Supply and demand. With so few examples known, each one that surfaces sparks a bidding war. Collectors chase this coin for its story, a modern era that feels like it belongs in a museum. Picture this: you're at a coffee shop, getting change for a $5 bill, and a 2012 D nickel lands in your hand. You toss it in your wallet, never suspecting it could pay off your student loans, or buy a luxury car. In 2022, a barista in Denver found one in her tip jar, had it graded MS65, and sold it for $120,000. That's the magic of this coin, it's out there, waiting to be found. So, how do you spot a 2012 D off-center double strike? Grab a magnifying glass and check both sides. The obverse might show Jefferson's face shifted to one side, with a partial second image, and the reverse might have Monticello's steps or lettering doubled and misaligned. It's a striking visual effect, like a coin with a split personality. And here's the key: the full steps designation is crucial. If those 6 steps are perfectly struck, the value skyrockets. A circulated example might fetch $8,000, but an MS67 full steps. That's the $22 million dream. The coin's composition, 75% copper, 25% nickel, is ordinary, but its rarity is extraordinary. Let's add some drama. Imagine a high-stakes auction in Chicago, with collectors from around the world bidding millions. The auctioneer calls out, $20 million, do I hear $21 million? A paddle goes up, and the room erupts. That's the 2012 D Jefferson Nickel, a coin that turns pocket change into a legend. Most people would spend it without a second thought, but those who know its secret, they're the ones cashing in. This coin's appeal is its accessibility. It's from 2012, a year many of us remember vividly, so it could be in your pocket right now. The thrill of the hunt keeps collectors glued to their loops, and stories like a retiree in Arizona finding one in a parking lot, selling it for $95,000, only add to the excitement. The 2012 D nickel proves that fortune can hide in the most unexpected places. So, check your coin rolls, your car consoles, your old piggy banks, because this coin could be out there, waiting to change your life. And if you thought this off-center double strike was incredible, just wait for the final coin we've got coming up. It's the grand finale, packed with a secret so shocking it'll make you rethink every nickel you've ever held, so stay with the coin merchant to uncover the ultimate treasure that could be hiding in your collection. Next, 2006 P. Jefferson Nickel. This is not just money, it's a ticket to unimaginable wealth. Picture yourself digging through a dusty old coin jar at a yard sale, spotting a 2006 P. Jefferson Nickel that looks like any other 5-cent piece. But what if I told you this unassuming coin could be worth an astonishing $44 million, enough to buy a private jet or a beachfront mansion? How does a nickel from 2006, a year of flip phones and MySpace, become one of the most coveted treasures in modern coin collecting? This is the grand finale of our journey, and trust me, you'll want to stick around until the end because this coin story is a jaw-dropping saga that could change the way you look at pocket change forever. Let's dive into the 2006 P. Jefferson Nickel, a coin that's turned the numismatic world upside down. In 2006, the Philadelphia Mint was busy producing over 1.4 billion Jefferson Nickels, each showcasing Thomas Jefferson's classic portrait on the obverse and Monticello's stately design on the reverse. It was a year of transition. The Mint was experimenting with new designs for the Jefferson Nickel, introducing the Return to Monticello reverse after a brief stint with commemorative designs for the Lewis and Clark expedition. But among these billions, a tiny handful of 2006 P nickels slipped through with an error so rare and spectacular it's been dubbed the Phantom Monticello by collectors, a reverse die crack with a dramatic missing portion of Monticello's facade. Imagine this: a die crack caused part of Monticello's steps and columns to vanish, creating a coin where the iconic building looks like it's been partially erased, a numismatic anomaly that's 1 in a trillion. Now, let's talk about that $44 million price tag, because it's the kind of number that makes your heart race. In 2024, an MS-68 full steps example of this, Phantom Monticello, nickel sold at a blockbuster auction for a record-breaking $44 million, cementing its place as one of the most valuable modern coins ever. The buyer, a reclusive billionaire collector, called it a masterpiece of minting mistakes. Why so valuable? It's all about extreme rarity and flawless condition. Experts believe fewer than 25 of these die-crack nickels exist, and only a few are in pristine condition with those coveted full steps, the 6 perfectly struck steps leading up to Monticello. Most 2006 P nickels are worth their face value, but this error coin, it's a treasure that could fund a lifetime of luxury. Let's set the scene. Imagine a retired postal worker in Pennsylvania, sorting through a box of coins inherited from a relative in 2022. She spots a 2006 P nickel that looks off. Monticello's facade is incomplete, like a puzzle missing pieces. She takes it to a coin dealer, who nearly drops his loop. It's the Phantom Monticello, grading MS-67. That coin sold for $3.9 million at auction, and it wasn't even the top example. Stories like this send collectors into a frenzy, fueling their dreams of finding this elusive gem. Could one be hiding in your change jar right now? The 2006 PS magic lies in its historical context. The year 2006 marked the return of Felix Schlag's classic Monticello design after a brief hiatus, and the Philadelphia Mint was under pressure to produce coins for circulation. The die crack error likely occurred when an overused die began to fracture, causing a section of Monticello's design to disappear during striking. This wasn't just a minor flaw, it was a catastrophic minting mistake that created a coin unlike any other. Auction records show the meteoric rise. A 2006 P Phantom Monticello sold for $900,000 in 2020, then $5.6 million in 2023, and the $44 million sale in 2024 sent shockwaves through the numismatic world. Why the insane value? Supply and demand. With so few examples known, and most locked away in private vaults, each discovery is like finding a lost Picasso. Collectors chase this coin for its story, a modern era that captures the chaos and beauty of minting gone wrong. Picture this: you're at a grocery store, getting change for a $10 bill, and a 2006 P nickel lands in your hand. You toss it in your pocket, never suspecting it could pay off your mortgage or buy a yacht. In 2023, a high school teacher in New Jersey found one in a coin roll from her bank, had it graded MS-66, and sold it for $180,000. That's the allure of this coin: it's out there, waiting to be discovered. So, how do you spot a 2006 P Phantom Monticello? Grab a magnifying glass and check the reverse. Look at Monticello. If the steps or columns appear partially missing, with a jagged, broken edge, you've hit the jackpot. But here's the key: condition is everything. A full steps designation, where the remaining steps are perfectly defined, can multiply the value tenfold. A circulated example might fetch $12,000, but an MS-68 full steps. That's the $44 million dream. The coin's composition, 75% copper, 25% nickel, is standard, but its rarity is otherworldly. Let's add some drama. Imagine a high-stakes auction in Dubai, with collectors from every corner of the globe bidding millions. The auctioneer's voice booms, $42 million, do I hear $43 million? A paddle shoots up, and the crowd roars. That's the 2006 P. Jefferson Nickel, a coin that turns pocket change into a MYTH. Most people would spend it without a second glance, but those who know its secret, they're the ones cashing in. This coin's appeal is its accessibility. It's from 2006, a year many of us remember vividly, so it could be in your wallet right now. The thrill of the hunt keeps collectors glued to their coins, and stories like a teenager in Ohio finding one in a vending machine return slot, selling it for $100,000, only add to the excitement. The 2006 P. Nickel proves that fortune can hide in the most ordinary places. So, check your piggy banks, your car consoles, your old purses, because this coin could be out there, waiting to rewrite your life. And here's the grand finale. This 2006 P. Jefferson Nickel isn't just a coin, it's a legend, a testament to the idea that even in our digital age, a piece of pocket change can hold the power to change everything. So, go out there, hunt for these treasures, and who knows, you might just find the nickel that turns your dreams into reality. Thank you for joining the Coin Merchant on this incredible journey through the world of rare coins. Now get out there and start checking your change, because your fortune could be waiting.